What is going on? I am Cole, and I'm here today with my buddy Blake. How are you doing today, Blake?
Doing well. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing all right. I just noticed that I've got my little dude on top of one of these comics. It looks
Oh,
kind of
I
weird.
thought it was a custom variant, like for Coins of Judas.
Yeah, that'd be tight if we had if I had a blood tree. You probably got to get like at least 1,000 image variant, like
Yeah, because they do
probably.
those. I know
Yeah,
they do those, but yeah, it's you got to get a few things.
yeah. I know, like yeah, I know. Who knows? But let's say hello to the chat. We got Las Cruces from New Mexico. How is it going, Las Cruces?
Showing
Thank
up
you
a
for
half
dropping by.
hour early.
Yeah,
Somebody's pre gaming.
yeah.
My kind of
Pregame. He's
guy.
tailgating, and we got Tapia. What's going on, Comic Addicts?
What
How
up?
is it going, my dude? But today we're going to talk about some books. We got a lot of books to talk about, and by a lot, we got 3 books. That is technically just 3 issues of comics. One one of these 3 might be a little bit larger than your standard comic. I think Blood Tree was 32 pages, where the other ones were both like 24. I could be completely wrong though, so if I'm wrong, call me out on that, Blake.
Did it just feel like 30 pages?
I thought it was a little bit longer. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's
This
not.
comic never ended. No, it wasn't like that. It was just we'll talk about that. But it has a pace. It has a pace, and it's not scared to slow burn. Apparently,
Yeah.
with Blood Tree. Maybe.
Yeah, and we got my buddy 22 Comics. How's it going, 22? How
What
you
up,
doing?
22 Comics?
So yeah, I'll show this a little bit here for the people that came early. I'm probably going to give at least one of these issues away, maybe multiple, depending on how I feel when I get to the store and how much is actually there when I get there. But we are going to do a giveaway, so if you want to enter that, and this is a very terrible overlay for what I'm trying to do here. So, but yeah, just
Hey,
put
I
in
like the hashtag though.
yeah, hashtag buzz. For it's Blake's slogan, so make sure you put that in. It'll give you a chance to end up winning either at least one of these issues or possibly all 3, depending on if they're all there and how much stuff I actually have to get. So let's do that. Hey, what is going on, J80 Hobbies? How are you doing?
What's up, Jay?
And yeah, I'm gonna throw this down at the bottom for
Hey,
the.
we got. I want to time out. We have people actually putting in the hashtag after we announced it this
Yeah.
episode.
So
They're
hey,
learning.
so yeah, Las Cruces 22 and J80 Hobbies. Thank you for moving quick. Last time I feel like we had to explain this like 7 or 8 times before people went into this. So today's episode is probably going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. Normally we're going to probably do some sort of like a trade or a collected version of some issues. Today there weren't a ton of trades coming out this week that we had access to, so we were like, you know what, let's do some number ones. This is a super number one heavy week. I want to say there's like at least 5 indies that I know of, possibly more coming out. So I mean, there were a ton of other books we probably could have picked. I know that Image has another one called Almighty, maybe, which is supposed to be like a Mad Max book.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you guys are here and you don't know Blake, I've got all Blake stuff down below. So make sure you go give him a follow. He is starting to get into this year. And I think Blake might be having some pretty big guests coming up on his show.
We got some cool stuff going. I'm announcing one tomorrow, but we got a cool live show Friday, and then I'm interviewing someone over the weekend, which I will release on Wednesday, which is a pretty big get for me. I'm excited about. But yeah, you Blake's Buzz everywhere, like Twitter, Instagram, your mom's house. I'm just kidding. I'm not your dad. I'm not buying you birthday presents. But follow me
maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year. Prove yourself worthy. Start by following my YouTube channel, and we'll see what happens.
So for these, we got 3 books. We're gonna try and do a little bit. As I said, this one, I mean, it's kind of hard with a first issue. Can you really spoil it? I don't think any of these books had huge, crazy reveals in them.
Black Tape had a pretty hardcore ending.
Yeah, but it also explains what is gonna happen in.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
that's
sure
true.
in the
Solicit.
synopsis.
Yeah.
So like, none of these were anything that's gonna, like, I think, really ruin anything, but I'm just gonna throw this out here because I think from pretty much now on out, there's probably gonna be some slight spoilers. Nothing crazy, because once again, these are only first issues. All the art that we're gonna be sharing are things that are already out there that you can already find. So nothing should be too crazy. But let's start with Black Tape. This is from AWA Upshot. It is from writer Dan Panasayan. Sorry, I definitely maybe didn't get that right. Maybe I did. Artist Dalibor Talajik. I like that I got that one on point.
Yeah, I feel like it's Dan Panosian, but I'll just I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably more correct. I don't know how to
You did. I feel like you did nail Dalibor's last name though, which is like
that is I've seen a few interviews.
Okay.
Him on, and that's why I know. But I'm gonna quick read the synopsis here for everyone. Jack King was a rock and roll god who projected a stage persona on par with the devil. After Jack dies on stage, his widow Cindy grapples with grief and struggles to protect his legacy, unaware that she is being surrounded by dark forces that covet the master tape to Jack's final unreleased album, a heavy metal masterpiece that just might open a doorway to hell. So that's a lot. There's a lot there.
What else do you want metal to do if it's doing its job?
It is. And, we got Callie and Jordan Squad. Hey, welcome back.
What's up, guys?
Thank you
thanks for tuning in. Thanks for following me on YouTube also, and for commenting. Appreciate you guys. That was very kind of you. I followed you back too, by the way.
And so I'm going to just show off some of the art from this. This is like the literal first page of this book. I don't even know if this counts as a first page for how it's put on. You get kind of this. The one thing that I'm going to say, there was one part of this book that I was slightly confused about. I'm just going to kind of scroll through some.
What were you confused about
before that? And this is kind of the artwork. So that's kind of, we'll get to the artwork before I show it again. So the actual him dying on stage, I didn't technically.
Yeah, I had to go back.
I read this issue twice. I still didn't even kind of grasp that until I just read the synopsis. Like, you definitely know that he dies, and you can kind of tell that maybe it's happening at that point in time. But it definitely did. It was more of like you have to imagine this yourself.
What really solidified his death to me was the funeral scene.
Well, okay, yeah. So I need to.
This is why I review comics and I'm not a stand-up comedian, because my jokes don't land.
So I mean, that's the thing. I got, obviously I got that. I saw that when that happened. That is something that obviously he's dead, and you can definitely tell because I think a few panels after that she's crying, she's sad. Yeah, she's talking.
No, but there's like the deal with the bottle. Like he drops.
Yeah, but you don't know
when you read it and go back, it makes sense. But yeah, initially it was kind of jarring and odd.
So the thing that I kind of think about, that I kind of thought with this, is that well, that's the thing. I didn't know, maybe he had a heart attack on stage, right, or a stroke or something, which caused him to drop this bottle and go into that. But that's neither here nor there on like whether or not this story like is great or not great. But that was just kind of the only thing I would say overall that I didn't love. The art, I mean, if you've read most of the AWA books, the art style for most AWA books, excluding like Erratic and Bite Size, are fairly like similar. They're kind of gritty, they're a little rough, I guess, around the edges. For this type of a story, it does remind me of that. I know that we got 22 saying that this reminds him of a story from Silver Coin. It is sort of similar. It's a little bit different so far. I mean, it is 4 issues too, but this one, like this first issue, you're mainly dealing with grief. You're dealing with like, losing a loved one, and just kind of like, what would a rock star's funeral be like, right?
Yeah. So, and also the weirdness of that too, right? Yeah. Like, oh, she does. So there's, you're right. There, it is hard to talk about a number 1 issue without spoiling stuff. So they go to the funeral, and I was raised Catholic in a close knit family, right? And that was always kind of the deal: is either you go to the church and eat and hang out with everybody, or you go to a family member's house and eat and hang out with everybody, right? But that's always been a norm for me in the funerals that I've gone to. And in this one, it's a little bit different because it's similar, like, but instead of going to the house and eating, they go to the house and they party, and everybody's like drinking and having a good time. And which, if I died, that's how I would want people to celebrate my life. Like I would rather have a big party with people drinking and laughing and having fun being around each other, and like people that haven't seen each other in a while, and rekindling all that. But when you're they're her fiance. Do we know if they were married yet? I don't know if we knew if
They
they were
were
married
married.
yet. They were married. Okay,
Yeah,
so like
because there's
her
she's looking
husband
at it
died.
and she says, "This is our honeymoon."
Yeah. Oh, that's
And
right.
she
That's
because
right.
she said we were dating for a very short period of time, and then we got married
Yeah.
quickly, like, to the point where she only met his parents once.
Yeah, that's right. Man, you can tell Cole read the comic twice.
Yeah, I
Fuck.
mean, I definitely I try to on these days go back and quick spam the book, but Comics on the Bay, hey, welcome,
What's up,
and,
Comics on the Bay? Thanks for
you have
tuning
not
in.
put the hashtag in, but if you see
Put that
down below,
hashtag
there is a
in.
hashtag. Scrolling, I'll be giving away at least one issue, maybe possibly all of the issues that we talk about today. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed this first issue. I think it's a good starting point.
They
Man,
hyped this up a lot too. Like they AWA did a lot of promo. I mean, not necessarily like creator interviews and stuff like that, like Kickstarter promo, but just like a lot of internet advertising, a lot of like retweeting and reminding people that this was coming out. Like I remember hearing about this comic a lot like a month and a half ago. Like they've
yeah,
been very good. And I like that about AWA. I actually like that a lot. They got Cole and I are press, right? So like we are better than all of you, and we get comics sent to us before they come out. But they've been
one of
very
us may feel that way.
AWA is very good about promoting
Their books,
their
yeah.
comics, and not all indie. Not even indie. Not all comic publishers are the same, and AWA is very good at that. But I feel like they put a little extra effort into the promotion of Black Tape, and I've been excited about it for a while. And this first issue, like, wasn't really what I thought it would be, because it kind of, it like Cole said, it dealt with grief, it dealt with loss, it felt with like it had a lot of feeling in it. But I think good horror does that, because great horror manipulates your emotions. And for 7/8 of this comic, it's an emotional piece, right? It's not till the last couple pages when something happens.
Yeah, and maybe I think, as we said, we're probably not going to like reveal the big reveal. So there's a big reveal. It kind of sort of alludes to it in the solicit, but like, yeah, those final 3 pages, I think, is just whoop,
A
whoop,
lot
whoop.
happened. Like,
And
yeah,
then you're just like,
and I was like, I'm buying number. Like,
Yeah.
you can't not buy. I challenge our listeners to not buy number 2 after reading this.
the only thing is,
Yeah.
if you hate horror and you hate rock and roll, I can easily see you maybe not buying the next issue. Besides that, I mean, this was a solid number 1, right? There's like a story to be told. I think that this is going to go into a horror way. It might just be like a metal thing, right? It doesn't necessarily like allude that this is a horror book, but I mean, when you're dealing with the devil and you're dealing with metal music, I think that there's going to be some slight horror, I guess you could say, like references and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Well, I really want to talk about something, and I'm scared to, because there's the portraits.
oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I definitely, on my second read, I definitely looked at that. So what you'll need to know,
I
is
read
that
it
if you
4
get
times, ladies and gentlemen, and well, I read it once, and then I didn't. I read it once. I'm sorry.
But so once again, we're doing these. We've got another issue, and really the only rhyme or reason for why I picked these is I went in alphabetical order of the order that we're talking about. So the next one is Blood Tree. This is coming out from Image Comics. It is Peter J. Tomasi is the writer. We've got artist Maximum Simic. And I don't know, the other creators are not listed on Image's site, so I'm sorry for that, other creators. But the solicit to this is, yeah,
That's fuck that, dude. Call them out. I love Image, but
I
like,
mean, AWA also only had the writer and the artist.
that is true.
On the page. And if you go into it, and if I brought up a different page, it would probably be better. But I figure when I'm reading these solicits, I want to read the solicits they specifically give out. So it's, 2 obsessed NYPD detectives hunt for a vicious butcher called the Angel Killer, a sociopath who preys on the innocent families of known murderers only to purify the rest of society. From comic super team Peter J. Tomasi, from Batman and Robin, Superman, Black Adam, The Dark Age, Super Sons, Detective Comics, and Maxim Simic, Escape from New York, Conan. What?
Yeah.
Comes
we
a
should talk
story
about
that
I have no idea what that is. We should talk about that though.
Yeah. Comes a story that confronts the battle of nature versus nurture, considering how present and future generations are tainted by past generations, and asks the age-old question: who must pay for the sins of the father and perhaps even the sins of the mother?
That solicit is longer than the fucking comic. That's insane.
Definitely not, but yeah. Metal and the devil equal horror and horror.
Yeah.
Right. People, apparently I say horror weird, so I'm sorry for that. I like putting
I say
Hot
everything
Daddies
weird.
and
It's
fast
fine.
food biscuits. That sounds great.
Whoa, how did we go to breakfast foods?
Because I told Comics by the Bay to put in the hashtag, and he put in hashtag
hash browns.
browns
Well, because
instead of
the other day
hashtag
we got
buzz buzz.
sidetracked on nachos. I thought I totally spaced on like a breakfast food.
No,
chat.
yeah, I mean, it just went there. So thank you, Marvin.
I don't know
Knapp,
why
for bringing
Cole
the
has
chat
put
to
up
there.
with me for 3 episodes already, because I have a few drinks before, and I just derail the train at any chance I get, and he still puts up with me because he's a beautiful man.
Thank
I
you.
almost shaved down to the mustache today, but I didn't.
Oh,
So
that would.
I was lazy.
Yeah, it probably would have been a little weird. You can't have 2 mustaches in the same place.
Two mustaches, one comic. Can we do that? Can we do that next time?
One comic. All right. Hashtag I'm Buzz. So yeah, you're getting closer. So Blood Tree. This is a book. As we said, there's some New York detectives on this. We kind of get it. It's like, it's there's some weird stuff that happens in the first few pages of this book. So the main detective is kind of like dealing with some weird family stuff. It's kind of weird. He wakes up to his son like in the bathroom, and he's like, "My fish is dead." And he goes to pour this fish in the toilet, and then once the kid leaves, right before the dad flushes,
fish is alive.
The fish is still alive. His son
he flushes the motherfucker down the toilet.
So it's like this weird thing, and so it goes through, it's a detective. He kind of deals with, there's a St. Patrick's Day parade, and out of nowhere, an angel falls from the ceiling of a building. And by ceiling, I mean the roof of like a 50
like a 50-story building.
Yeah. And falls in the ground, big parade, big splash, guy with angel wings. So that's kind of like what this killer is doing. As you can see, there's angel wings on who we're assuming is the bad guy. But he's been putting these people out there as angels. So this is of the 3 books, I think we mentioned, these are all kind of horror. They all have some horror elements to them, right? There is a psychopathic killer.
What's scarier than cops?
Yeah, but this is, of all these books, this is more like a noir book, right?
Yeah.
Like I made a joke to Blake that this kind of almost seemed like an SVU episode.
And I made another joke.
Yeah, and I hope that you say that at some point, because I have a very fun fact to say after that. But I think that overall, this book, the one thing I will say, the biggest flaw of this book that I saw off the bat is that I didn't love the art, and I don't know if it's just because we read like a low-fi review copy, but the art is just pretty standard. I think the story is
not bad. It's not bad, but it doesn't pop either. Like it's just kind of there, and with the slower paced story, it does hinder it a little bit. But issue 2 could solve this riddle. Issue 2 could make this something really intense and visceral and exciting. And that issue 1 and that's the problem with reviewing single issues, is because like it's really hard to drop a perfect first issue. Like it's like, as a creator, it's like I can't imagine that pressure, right? Like I kind of think that's why Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips do graphic novels now. Like they don't.
He doesn't need to do that. People know who Ed Brubaker is, and if you like Ed Brubaker, you're just gonna buy those, right? Like
that's true.
I mean,
but he just doesn't do a lot
of
singles. Like he just but I feel like
even Friday, he's doing Friday that way, which is sweet. Yeah, Ed Brubaker's like, COVID happened, fuck it. Here's some full-on books. Enjoy. Yeah, so yeah, we kind of get this. You kind of see this main detective. You get a little bit of his family. You see his wife. He gets invited. He saves the mayor when that angel falls. So you kind of get to see a little bit of him and learn about him in this. But yeah, this is by far a slow burn. I want to say when I was looking this up on League of Comic Geeks, I only saw that there were 3 issues of this. So this might
really?
only be a 3-issue thing. Also, Peter Tomasi, like this is one of his first indie books, so it's pretty,
He doesn't do a lot of indie stuff. And
I
I'm
know that he
obsessed
did
with his
on
Batman and Robin run. I'm
Yeah,
obsessed with it.
yeah,
I'd
and
suck his toes. I'd suck his toes right now for him to
Black
just
Adam
read.
was one of the books that brought me back into comics. So I mean, Peter J. Tomasi is a guy that I think puts out solid books.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good writer.
Like
He's a
like
great
he
writer,
doesn't
actually.
for me personally, he doesn't do anything that's like this is revolutionarily changing the game. I know you mentioned there were some things that you liked from him, but I don't think that he puts out a bad story either.
No.
Like nothing that he does, you're going to be like, that was a miss, but maybe he's just a guy that's hitting like infield doubles every time, right?
Yeah.
He's still a guy you want on the team. You need him to set up the plates so that, Miguel Cabrera can come get a grand slam real quick.
Sure. Baseball.
And we're talking baseball. Hey, Boyd, how's it go? How's it
What's up,
going?
Boyd?
Welcome to
Thanks
the
for hanging out.
And yeah, for other people that have came in, if you want, we've got this hashtag BuzzBuzz. If you put that in, you have a chance to possibly win one of these issues, maybe possibly all of these issues.
Yeah, maybe 2, maybe 3. Like it's kind of what's up, 3 Good Nerds?
Yeah,
3 Good Nerds. That's such a good name.
Solid name. Three nerds.
Follow me on YouTube, 3 Good Nerds, so I know to follow you back because I want to follow you, but I might forget unless I get that notification.
Yeah, and all Blake's information down below.
I'm gonna whore myself out all day.
3 Good Nerds is a fun channel that he does everything from comics, Pokemon stuff, some cards stuff.
Oh, nice.
All over the place. Yeah, he's got his kid and wife involved. They even do pizza reviews, which is pretty sweet. And
okay, I love me some pizza.
And we got Nova Man over here. This is a thing that no one else knows except the 2 of us, but
I know the thing that happened there is.
Yeah, well, I said Nova Man.
Oh, I was like,
we were in a stream.
I know who Silver Surfer is, bro.
and since we've got El Crudo here,
Crudo, what up, baby?
But yeah, and hey, what is going on, Kenneth Bird? So yeah, once again, everyone new here. We got some new names popping up. Hit hashtag BuzzBuzz, and you can get a chance to win this. We're currently talking about the book, which I kind of took this down. I don't even know why I took that down. That's bad branding. I mean, Blood Tree, number 1.
I want to talk about this cover though.
Yeah, the cover is sick.
This is the most misleading cover. I'm sorry. Like, and I know you want a cover that makes you want to buy the comic, and this does, right? But like this, the goggles on the angel and the headset and like the art, it's very misleading. And I don't like not appreciate it because I get it, but this is just a weird comic that like wants you to be dark and gritty and like procedural, like Gotham Central or like Seven, right? That's kind of how it wants it to be, but it falls into a few tropes, and the tropes, like Cole and I joked about earlier, feels like a SVU episode, or
like this is like
one of those.
I mean, the serial killer puts these wings on their victims. There's 2 victims in this first issue, and I think one gets thrown in the field in a Mets game. So shout out to all the Mets fans. I don't know that Brian LCS is here or Nick the Comic Nerd, but I know those guys both like the Mets. So that was kind of cool. I think this issue. So the hard thing too is this is a detective book, right? You kind of get the idea of what the serial killer is. You get to see a little bit of them,
and you see him. That was odd too. You see, you see the killer in the issue.
And so 22, you kind of said like, why does he have those? My understanding is that he's like so the first angel that they saw, the wings, they were like, these wings are terribly put on. But then the next one that you see, they're like, look at how good these are. So
they're like surgical.
They're surgical is what they're saying. So like he probably is using those to be able to see in the I don't know how you put.
Oh, he's using the goggles. Okay, so those are wing suturing goggles, not night vision goggles. This ain't Call of Duty, motherfuckers. The joke that I told to Cole earlier is Cole told me, he was like, it feels like an SVU episode, and I was like, yeah, but like they didn't find semen anywhere. Because I feel like in those cop shows, it's always like how do we find this shoplifter? Like, oh, we found his semen all over the orange juice. We're gonna put this into the database and register it and find him. It's just always, it always comes back to the semen, and there's no semen in this comic, which I'm cool with. Like, that's like,
you don't technically know that there isn't any.
Well, I could, yeah, but I am a proponent of semenless comics. Like, I'm cool with that, you know. Like, I don't want, we pay a lot of money for these things, man, and sometimes they get worth money, right? You can't have these pages sticking together, right? That's gonna degrade the value. CGC is gonna knock that off hardcore when you send that in to get graded.
They might not. I don't even know that they'll look inside.
They don't flip the pages. They gotta flip the pages.
Maybe they do. Trev,
what's up, Trev?
Shipping Guru. How's it going? Yeah, you guys are both KC fans, so you guys get to cheer for them in the Super Bowl. So congratulations to
I'm so stoked and terrified. It's gonna be a tough game. I'm really
dude, they're so hurt. They are so hurt. I mean, this issue, I think I kind of said this issue seemed like it was a little bit longer than the other ones. I think this was 32 pages. I could be completely wrong, but I think
but it made us talk about it.
And
we've had a good discussion about it, and a bad comic doesn't necessarily make that happen. So there are good things here.
Yeah, like the hard thing about this book is that it is a detective book. You don't want to, like, ruin it all in the beginning, but
yeah,
you kind of got to do,
you got to do something.
There's something. This is a slow burn, and who knows if it's going to take off or not, but we'll see. And hey, I'm just going to present this one more time for people because we got some more new people in here, but we're doing hashtag buzz.
Hashtag buzz. Win some free comics.
And
and also, guys, if you win, well, whether or not you win or not, like we talked about earlier, tonight is a kind of different format.
Yeah,
this show started. the great idea we both had was like, hey, let's talk about trades that release on Wednesday, and on Tuesday we'll tell you why you need to buy them. And then we ran into this problem of, every Wednesday there's not always necessarily a volume 1 trade out. Sometimes it's a volume 2 trade. There were a couple very interesting volume 2 trades out this week, and we debated covering those as a volume 1 and saying like, hey, like this is worth venturing into the second volume. But we also talked about like, what's the name of the show? It's Blake and Cole read a book. Can we read one book? Can we read 2 books? Can we read 3 books? Tonight we're showing you that we can indeed read 3 books.
Yeah, they're smaller versions of books, but we did it.
But like, let us know. Like, this is new. This is our 3rd episode. Yeah. I would love some feedback from you guys. Like, let us know what you guys want too. And like, if you don't like the show, we'll read the comments, but we won't necessarily change anything. But we'll read them. We'll read them and talk about it later.
One of the things I did mention in my most anticipated comic, I didn't have a guess because you were gonna end up just not being able to do something because I was gonna have you just come.
No, he did. I'll come out right out now and say it. I'm having some hard day job life shit going on, and the other day I got off work and I ate 2 gummies, and like they're like rolling in, right? Like like when you hear the thunder from like beyond, and the thunder starts rolling in and it gets louder and louder and louder, and then it's like and it shakes your house. That's where I'm at on this gummy deal. And Cole hits me up and he's like, what are you doing right now? And I was like, nothing, but I'm fucked up. so anyways, that happened the other day. But anyways,
I had the most handsome guest that I've ever had on. It was myself. But I talked about this and I said, what do you think? So I know some people specifically said, I know You Promised Me Comics specifically said he would have rather had us talk trades because he was like, oh, I love that Matthew Ehrman book. And we didn't. But Kenneth, I love these little pink hands. So thank you for giving them to me. We can't see them on screen, but I can see them on my phone. So let's get to this final book because I think this one's a good one. We've got Where Monsters Lie.
I loved this book.
Yeah,
I did so much.
This is from Dark Horse Comics. We got the creator team of writer Kyle Stark, artist Petra Kowalski. We got colorist Vladimir Popov. We got cover artist, those 2 people that I just mentioned. From the genres of this, in case you care, Dark Horse labels those on there, which I think is actually kind of cool. And I don't know that I would think that these are the genres of this book, but they have humor, definitely fits.
It's definitely
fantasy,
funny.
Don't get
No,
fantasy out of this.
no,
Action
it's
adventure.
humor. It's humor horror.
Yeah, humor, fantasy, action, adventure. But let me read this to you. Haven't you always wondered what slasher monsters, the masked home invasion families, the mindless, unkillable monsters, the serial killers trapped in a doll, what they do for those couple of years in between their murder sprees? They're at Wilmhurst, a gated community in the middle of nowhere where they relax or try to until they get the call to go out and kill again. Connor Hayes survived his first slasher in the summer camp. A handful of years later, he barely escapes a psychopath who built torture puzzles for his victims. Since then, he's been training and planning for running into these creatures again. He's a retrospective special agent, and now he knows where the monsters lie, and he's planning more.
Time out, because I really do love this comic, but like, how long are solicits getting?
This is
Like,
from Dark Horse itself. Also, if you didn't know, Kyle Stark's most recent book was I Hate This Place. He also did Trigger Keaton.
that's right. I
Rock
forgot
Candy
that.
Mountain was a big one. He has done a bunch of Rick and Morty, which is apparently something people are talking about because of certain things.
Yeah,
But this is the art of the book, so it's kind of got to this, and these are the first few pages.
I love
so
the art.
There's some pretty crazy stuff going on.
Yeah,
As you can see, there's a few of these like masked people. Here you can see this welcome to Wilmhurst. But I too love this book. I would probably say, if we're just going to come out and say it, this is probably my favorite.
this is the top book
these
of the week
books.
right now.
But like, it's weird. This is funny. If you hear me talk, like, I like C-list horror movies, which, you know, kind of have that funny aspect to them. I don't really love, besides like The Evil Dead, I don't love horror comedies. I guess there are some horror comedies that do it
It's
very
hard to
well, and I
do.
really
It's
like
hard
it.
to do.
But most of the time I don't like it, and that's kind of what this is. This is a humor, horror book, but it's funny. Like, one of the guys is called the Puzzle Master, and the funny thing is they're just talking about like all of your puzzles now just have dicks on.
Yeah,
Like,
these are all dick puzzles.
yeah, like what the hell, man? And somebody like looks at him. One of the serial killers is like the craziest of all of them. He wears this bear on his head, and he decides that he likes to do gardening more than murdering people. So it's like there's some funny tropes within this, but yeah, it's this, it kind of starts off with these kids coming in to the village, and that's the whole
Well,
thing.
they escape. They're already like in a basement and
Well,
escape
they're
from
not
the
supposed to
basement.
have them
Yeah,
in this area.
yeah, because of the
So they weren't even
HOA,
supposed to be there yet.
because of the HOA
Oh, yeah.
rules.
Yeah, that's like a funny thing too that's kind of in this, right? There's HOA rules because this is a gated community for weird monster horror slasher killers.
It reminds me of like House of a Thousand Corpses meets like fucking Larry David, right? Like
Yeah.
that's kind of what it reminds me of, and it's absolutely wonderful every moment. Even on like when the comic starts, like before the comic starts, like we have the title page and we get introduced to all these characters, and you're like going through the characters, and you're like, okay, cool. And one of them's like, is it Fuckmaster?
I think that's the guy with the bear on his head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what they call him.
Who gets into agriculture?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird too because you don't know, like the guy that calls him that also doesn't like them, and they're like, you don't have to sit by him because they have this like meeting where they're all together, right? Like, why did you put me next to him? Or like, there's this clown, I don't know what his name is, but he's
Yeah.
like, wouldn't it be sweet if I had a flamethrower? And they're like, no,
They're
we
like,
can
no,
give
you don't
poison
you don't need a
popcorn."
flamethrower.
Yeah, you're a clown. Do clown
Put
things.
some poison in some balloons or a poison pie or something. Yeah, it so builds off horror cliche with all these. It has so many different characters. It has a huge cast.
Yeah, I mean, so you can see the whole cast here, right?
Yeah.
So this dude is like the guy in the top left is like the puzzle master. So he's the guy that does the weird puzzles. He's got a weird mask on his face. The guy under him is just, I don't know, some dude named Carl or something weird, who is also like a serial killer, but then he becomes like, I don't know, it's weird. He's weird. That's, I think, his mom. There's the lady with the puppet. We've got the clown we talked about. The dude in the middle is just the big dude. The guy with the bag over his head is some old guy's like nephew that's pretty much a chainsaw dude.
I like the cannibals.
Yeah.
I like to read too, Flo. Like,
Yeah. Flo, what's going on? He's got a show, Bada Boom podcast. If you guys haven't heard of it, you should check it out. They're doing some big things too, and they've been killing it on the shorts. Once again, I will mention that I have a Sherpa that taught me how to do shorts, and it's kind of Flo Dammer. And technically, I was doing them before me, but he really pushed me into continuously keep pushing on them.
Yeah, no, and Cole
keeps
keeps trying to push me too, and I just keep being like, I'm tired and I'm sleepy, and I want to do shorts and I want to do more,
but also Flo and anyone.
Now we're live on Tuesdays.
There's Buzz. So if you put that hashtag,
put that in.
You have a chance.
Enter the giveaway. And it all depends on what Cole can find at the comic book shop.
Yeah, it's really what I want. Like, so this book is just silly. It's fun. It's like, this is the perfect horror comedy book, right? Like, if that's something that you want, it is so it's really weird. This kind of ended before I read the solicit. I was going to say that this is the worst cliffhanger of the 3 books that we've talked about.
It had a huge
but now that I've kind of read it, I was just like, how is this going to be 4 issues?
Yeah, like, where the fuck's it going to go? Like,
pretty much I'm guessing the next 3 issues are going to be a ton of monster.
Oh yeah,
like
it's going to be gross, violent, weird. I told Cole it reminded me of what Doug Wagner's doing in his plastic verse right now.
Yeah. This definitely had if you read the book Vinyl, it has kind of some similar feels to Vinyl. I personally maybe like the art of Vinyl a little bit more, but the art's still solid in this.
Doug's I can't think of that artist's name right now, but they're insanely talented who does Vinyl and who's doing Plush too, right?
Yeah. Plush, I just read issue 3 last night. Plush has been a fun story too. If you like kind of these, that's another.
But it's like it's in the same realm. Like this is for you if you like those. If you like that Wagner, that Wagner vibe.
That's kind of those have always been one of those books. And like Nailbiter is similar, right? Where people call. It's hard for me to I get it, right? Slasher movies are horror movies, but when they're in comics, they also usually have the trope of a detective, right? Or a police officer, where those aren't necessarily usually in those movies. So it seems different, I guess, to me. I always kind of maybe bring those into more of a detective crime book where the serial killer is just a psycho.
Yeah.
This definitely has way more horror vibes, but it's probably just because it has literally every trope of every bad guy.
It's very satirical.
Like the dude with the bag on his head is loosely Leatherface, but with a bag on his head. I assume the guy with the long hair is maybe either Jason or Michael Myers.
Yeah.
The clown is either one of the dudes from the movie Rob Zombie
he's
did.
He's trying to make people float. It's fine. But there's also a weird there's a weird moment when they yell at the cannibalistic rednecks, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, you can't have your guy out here at the same time. And so again, I know that's such a great reviewer thing to say, this person said this one thing and this guy said this other thing. It was really interesting, but I'm so interested for issue 2. I am excited. The way it ends, I'll go ahead and say it. The cops show up, right? So all these things happen, you laugh, you feel weird, you feel silly, and at the end of the first issue, the cops show up, and like Cole said, we got 3 more issues to go, so it's gonna get bloody, it's gonna get violent, and it's gonna stay funny. It's gonna stay really funny. So fans of horror, fans of horror and horror cliches and slasher cliches. This is for you. This has been tailor tuned to build you a fucking sexy ass drip to bring to a fucking wedding. This is you're gonna put this jacket on, it's gonna feel good, the cuffs are gonna be right at the right length, you're gonna feel comfy in this comic, you're gonna feel confident, and I'm really excited to see where it goes, because it's very different, it's very fun, and I'm very excited.
In the words of the guy from Men's Warehouse, who is one of our sponsors, you're gonna love today's gift. I think that's what they say, though, right? Well, Trev was a big fan of what you were saying there. So let's throw it all down here. We talked 3 books today.
3
Once again,
books tonight, ladies and
everyone
gentlemen.
that is here, if you haven't already, put in that hashtag BuzzBuzz. That's going to get you a chance to win maybe one, maybe all of these books. I'll probably ask you which one of these books would be your top choice, and depending on how things go and what I actually get from there, we'll go. Well, how would you rank these? Like, which one? What would you rank? Like, how would you rank them? Which one are you going to say? Like, so I don't necessarily think that like all of these books are, at least if you like the genre. So we'll kind of say it like Where Monsters Lie is this horror comedy.
Yeah.
Black Tape is this rock and roll, possibly horror vibe going on. Blood Tree is like a detective serial killer book with some horror vibes too. So these are all horror vibes. And I think Blake wanted to drop. If you guys haven't heard of Humble Bundle,
I did. Yeah, I wanted to talk Humble Bundle.
Digital thing going on. I recommend checking out Humble Bundle. You can get a ton of books. This is the hard thing. The only thing I don't like about Humble Bundle sometimes is like I got like an image one, right? So I have like half of the image books that are in this. So it's like,
and not the other half.
Yeah. So it's like kind of a bummer, right? But like you get kind of half this stuff, but they're a great deal. I think for $18 you get loosely like, I mean, it's digital. They send you
about
a PDF,
35 comics,
but you get about 35 like full books, and like probably like on top of that like 10 single issues. But
it saves all your info. So like if you have like limited space on your tablet or whatever your reading device is,
you can come back and download
you can come back and download it.
Humble Bundle have an EPUB too. I don't know what uses EPUB, but that way you get like an actual one that's tailored to the tablet.
Yeah.
So you can actually use it. That I've recommended them as a good way to get stuff. Sometimes they do weird stuff where it's like, here's a Doctor Who thing. Here's like literally 25,000 Doctor Who comics. Where that's not for everyone, but if you like that, that is for you. They do.
No, it's totally for you. Like, and they have really cool stuff. They did like
I got Garth Ennis, so I got all of the boys.
Nice.
And it was like $8. The cool thing is too, they donate to the creators and they put money into charity, and you can split up how
you can decide how you want your money to go. I like that too.
And you can obviously donate to them. I think they like I don't think they let you do like 100% in one.
No.
But I think you can do.
But there's a slider. You can adjust the slider.
I think you can do like most in one. So if you want to give the creators, like, if there was like, let's say there's like Warren Ellis or somebody that's slightly controversial, and maybe you don't want to give them money, you can give money to charity over that person, or something like that. So I always think that's cool about the way that they do that. But
and if you're a PC, if it escalates if you're a PC gamer, right? Because you can get you can get comics, you can get books, you can get PC
well, I've
games.
even bought like they had one that was digital video editing software.
Oh, nice.
The only issue was it was a 1-year subscription. I didn't realize that was the case. And you could have, like, as long as you used it within that 1 year, you got a year after that, but then it expired. So that was kind of a bummer.
Well, yeah, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on, because every other month or every month or so, they switch it up, and some months aren't going to be for you, right? Like some you're gonna be like, I like a couple of these things, but no. But every now and then you're gonna fucking stumble across a treasure trove of things that are great. And right now, if you are interested in these 3 comics, and you're interested and you like horror, and you've got a tablet or whatever to read digital comics on, you really should consider picking up the Humble Bundle Winter Horror Pack, because for the minimum amount of $18, you can get a whole bunch of comics.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good stuff, and silver coins on there. Both volumes of Silver Coin. Jeff Lemire's new Family Tree. All 3 volumes of Family Tree are on there. There's a ton of awesome shit on there. I just
dropped the link. It's pretty long. Yeah. So I'll just quick, I guess here, I can just quick do a screen share of this real quick since we're talking about it, just to show y'all what's on here. I dropped the link there. It might be too long, so sorry about that. I'll probably put that in there, but here's what we see. So this is Shadecraft
is legit. also
Yeah,
too.
I didn't like Shadecraft at all. The
Well,
Silver Coin
don't
1 and
listen to
2.
Cole. Listen
We
to
got
me.
Noctera is great. Infidels is a fantastic
Infidel's amazing.
hack and
It's
slash. Family Tree is fine. Cold Spot,
Cold Spots is good.
Coyotes. Days of Hate was a
Days of
book I
Hate's supposed to
read,
be
but this
pretty
is
good.
Act 2, which is kind of wonky. Girls
Well,
Volume 4, that seems
you
wonky.
get volume 1 if you buy more. I think.
Oh, okay,
Days
cool.
of
Yeah.
Hate.
Then we got Goners. We got Graveyard Shift. I've never even heard of that. Looks sweet though. Oh, we got more Kyle Stark Old Head here.
Yeah, Old Head's supposed to be real good.
Nomen Omen. I've heard good things about that. Kill 6 billion. This looks sick. Random Acts of
Redlands.
Violence. Is
Oh,
that
Random Acts of Violence is supposed to be. That's Jimmy Palmiotti, right?
yeah, is that what it says here? Redlands is fantastic if you like female witch based books. We did a burrito bite on that once. Discipline, the Realms, Two Moons. A lot of people love Two Moons.
I
That's a
love
book
Two
that I
Moons.
definitely would go back. I didn't love that first issue, but I heard it got way better.
Oh, dude, it
Under
gets
Winter.
crazy. Definitely go back.
Yeah, here's
Cole.
it.
It's
Oh,
very good.
Dracula motherfucker.
Dracula
more Family
motherfucker's
Trees,
great.
more girls, more hack and slash. So yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stuff
You
here.
get so many comics, guys, for $18. Even if you throw a couple extra bucks to charity for under $30, if you're generous, you get an absolute crazy amount of comics. Keep an eye on the Humble Bundles. Put it on your favorites bar on your browser. Just check it out every couple weeks. It's gonna, if you're a fan of digital comics, or if you like reading digital comics, or it's like me, if it's just like
you can save a lot of money, and you can read a bunch
save
of these
tons of money, get a ton of new comics.
On my Tuesday video that I released, and I just dropped the Humble Bundle thing. You can get there. They also do, if you work in IT, they have a ton of IT stuff, which is kind of cool. But the reason why I wanted to drop that, this is good. But yeah, I mean, it's and I have stuff that I purchased from them like pre-COVID that I can still go log in. Like, yeah, I bought the boys.
Keeps it all on your account page. It's so wonderful. It's a great
and yeah,
they
have
deal. And they don't pay us, by the way. No one's paying Cole and I to hype this up. If you want to pay us, that'd be great. That'd be super sick. But
Humble Bundle,
we just like your product.
Humble Bundle. If you just want to give us one of those comics,
every week, Cole and I are like trying to like hit up everybody and being like, "Hey, do you like? Well, we could talk about this comic and give this away. We could talk about this comic and give this away." Pretty much what Cole and I have found out is no one wants to give fucking comics away unless it's just us saying like, "Hey, we'll give this comic away."
That being said, maybe in the future we will be working with somebody that might be willing to help give some comic books away.
Hopefully, maybe, who knows?
I'm just quick going in my library because I know they come in. Okay, so you can get a CBZ, an EPUB, or a PDF. I've gotten 2 of these in the past, and they're still here. They also have some really like quick games that you can buy. But yeah, there's some cool stuff in there. Highly recommend checking those out. We were kind of at one point before we got sidetracked, and I actually brought us into the sidetrack, not Blake. So hey, congratulations, Blake. Some good stuff for you. So let me get your rankings.
My rankings?
Books. Yeah. How would you rank these? Like, which would be your book? Like, once again, if you like the genres that these books are, they're probably worth buying.
Totally the number one pick of what we talked about this week would be Where Monsters Lie. I actually thought that was going to be way more highbrow and intense than what the actual comic ended up being.
It's very unhighbrow.
Yeah, it's not highbrow at all. Like, right? It's fucking gross and nasty and knows how weird it is and plays with that every panel. So yeah, Where Monsters Lie is my number one pick. Black Tape is my number 2 pick, and I loved it. And I loved the last few pages, and I'm so excited to see where the second issue of Black Tape takes us. The same with Where Monsters Lie. Like, both of these have really great cliffhangers that I want to explore. Blood Tree comes third. Blood Tree issue 2 has a lot to prove for me. I really want it to succeed. I want Blood Tree issue 2 to make the slower burn of this first issue make sense and be pertinent and get me excited for issue 3. So right now that's kind of like a what if scenario, right? Like I think it can do it. I have faith in Tomasi. Batman and Robin is one of my all-time favorite comics, and so like I know that the storytelling aspect is there and it can happen. It's just this was a weird first issue with weird pacing but it, like I said earlier, like issue 2 could save this, like it, and not save it. It doesn't need saving. It's not a bad comic. Like, please don't take that for, don't listen to me and what I say as I tell you to listen to me and what I say. But like, issue 2 could take this to another level, and I hope it does. But right now it was just a different kind of issue 1 where I'm excited. Like, there are things that intrigue me, and there are things that make me want to explore this series more. It just had a slower pace, and also what I kind of like, it kind of had like a fuck you attitude about it. It was like, yeah, like I'm gonna have a really weird first issue and have a whole bunch of layers that you got to comb through and then leave you there and be like, yeah, buy my second issue. And so I kind of like that cockiness. But anyways, like that, Blood Tree is my 3 of 3, but Blood Tree number 2 could like change that number at any given time, and that's kind of exciting too. So I don't know. That's my thought. But Where Monsters Lie was fucking sick. Black Tape was awesome, and the last few pages will have you thinking and conspiring and excited. And Blood Tree won't leave you in a bad place. Blood Tree won't make you mad about spending $4. It's just a little slower, and we're just gonna have to give it another moment, I feel like.
Yeah, and I guess to add to that, I had the exact same order that you had. I think that's
right. We're the same.
Yeah, I mean, Where Monsters Lie that's just like a perfect book for me. I liked it. This is the weird thing. Where Monsters Lie is the perfect first issue for people that will like this book.
For sick little murder puppies.
Yeah.
That like that weird shit.
Well, if you like horror movies, this is a book for you. If you want to see some comical renditions of it, Black Tape and Blood Tree to me had very similar pacings, but they're very different in what they did.
Yeah.
Black Tape was, here's dealing with a death, here's grieving, and here's the last 4 pages that are teaching you something different. Blood Tree was, we're doing some detective stuff. Here's the detective stuff. This is a story. This is the murderer. Here's some really weird stuff at the last few panels. Issue 2 is coming out. I would say that of these 3 books, to me, Blood Tree is where I would rank it the least. But I also think Blood Tree has the chance. It has the highest ceiling, right?
Yeah. It could do something. It could
I feel like
something
Blood
really
Tree
unique
has
and interesting
the chance
and invigorating.
To be the best of these.
Yeah.
But it didn't necessarily prove it in the first. I mean, I know I'm gonna like Where Monsters Lie. And Black Tape has some stuff to prove too.
But we also love AWA.
Yeah.
We love it. We love Image. We love Image too. But
Black Tape is the thing I like about AWA is you get these stories in 4 to 6 issues where it's not a crazy investment, right? If you don't like rock and roll and you don't like the devil and you don't like horror stuff, that's not a book that you should get. Like, no, Blood Tree.
And maybe you shouldn't watch our show either. No, please. I'm just kidding. Watch our show, please. Share, like, subscribe, share it to all your friends.
Yeah.
Send it to your fucking grandma.
One of your parents.
I'll talk to your fucking aunt at fucking midnight on a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
Let me know.
So I think as we get, let's get to some of our final thoughts here. I'm just gonna share this screen again. If you're new, if you're just creeping in the background, added the buzz. Make sure you get that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give away at least 1, possibly 2, possibly 3 of these issues. It kind of really depends on what's at my shop. Also, what's that guy's name? Stokey.
James Stocco.
Is that how you say it?
Stocco? Like the crazy artist who did like the really great...
he does the variant for Where Monsters Lie.
Yeah, Stocco.
I always thought
that's how I say it. If you say it wrong, that's fine. I'm gonna say Stocco.
Well, I remember Chaos and Comics used to call him Stokey, and then it said it was pronounced What did I say before that? Stoko? I don't know. There was
I think we both said Stoko or
okay,
Stacco,
yes.
or
You said
I hit,
Stacco.
yeah,
I said
I hit the half
Stoko.
syllable. I
Yeah.
said Stacco. You said Stoko. What? Okay, here's where we're gonna stop on that. Mr. James Stacco, if you want to come on our show and let us know
Pronounce
how to
your name
pronounce your
only.
name, we'll sure talk about your comics as well. I really, really love your Godzilla comic and your Alien comic and actually everything you do because you're fucking genius.
Orphan and the Six Beasts.
But yeah,
Five Beasts.
that's the new one. But if you want to come on this show
And pronounce your name. We don't need you to talk.
and tell this Midwestern white boy how to pronounce your name and call me out, like please, we'll do it.
And that invitation goes out to also Jeff Lemire. Because some people say Lemire. I'm guaranteeing.
Okay, I've heard Lemire several times, and I refuse to believe that
it's
correct.
Jeff Lemire. It's 100% Jeff Lemire.
But also, Jeff, if you want to come on the show, that's super
and
great.
Only pronounce your name. Granted, you're my favorite writer of all time, you and Matt Kent. So like, you can just come here and just talk.
And also, if Matt Kent wants to come on,
Matt
show,
Kent,
that'd be cool too.
We'll pretend like we don't know how to pronounce your name. James Tynan the fourth. Also, we're looking at you. I'm 95% sure it's Tynan, but some people say Tynian.
I thought it was content. I thought it was a hard T.
Kent? Okay.
No, it's wrong. I'm just trying to get him on the show, man.
Yeah,
just trying to do
but yeah, James Tynan, you can come on here and prove other people that call you James Tynian.
I thought it was Tinian.
Tinian? No, it's Tynan, dude. It's
Tynan.
James Tynan. Which is weird that his thing is Tiny Onion.
There's an I in there.
It's Tynan.
I just don't understand.
Just Google an interview. So when I don't know how to pronounce creator's name, I Google an interview, and usually in these interviews with like big interviews, they'll start it. So it'll be like, "Hi, I'm James Tynan the fourth," and you're like, "Okay, that's how you say that name," because you hear them say it, right? Yeah. Everyone thinks it's Tynan. Well, it's weird that he does Tynan. That's like really confusing because it's Tynan, not Tinian, which Tinian seems like tiny onion, but it's Tynan.
Fuck, I need to retire.
Yeah.
This was the last episode of Cole and Blake read a comic.
Well, no, you're retired for everything else. You can still come over to this show. This is not on mine, but there's or not in yours. So there is I don't know if we have an idea of what we're doing for next week, but if
we don't yet.
Trades, you guys know. I know we've even talked about maybe possibly doing a single issue because there is a single issue from a very hyped creator that a lot of people like that is coming out from Image next week.
Oh, from Rodney
Barnes. Yeah. So maybe we'll be talking some of these single issues again. Let us know too. Yeah, if you're here, if you're in the live chat, let us know if you prefer like this, like quick hitters of some of these single issues more so than the big trade reviews. I think the better thing about the trade review that we do get is that there are possibly certain people that have read all of these issues, so they don't get as upset with maybe possibly seeing some spoilers. But hey, we are at 57 minutes in and 40 seconds. So I'm gonna wait.
Man, we fucked up again. We tried to do 10 minutes an episode for
we kind of did good,
40-minute episode.
And then so I'm kind of expanding this out. We've got about a minute. If you're still here, make sure you put in buzz. Blake, do you got anything going on your channel this upcoming week?
This Friday I'm talking to Keith Champagne about his current campaign going on, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and drop it. I'm gonna go ahead and get weird. On Sunday, I'm interviewing Terry Moore about his new Kickstarter pinup art collection, and we'll be releasing that next Wednesday.
And if you don't know who Terry Moore is,
he wrote Strangers in Paradise.
You can go to Chaos and Comics Instagram and you can watch me and him take one of Terry Moore's books down the Vegas Strip at random bars, taking pictures of it, tagging Terry Moore in it. Ask him why he never responded to us, because
I'm gonna ask him.
Comical.
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna derail the whole fucking interview. All I have going on right now is I'm obsessed with how he draws noses. He draws the best fucking noses in comics, and I just love his art. I want to read more of his stuff. I've like bought a lot of his stuff, right? Like I have like the Strangers in Paradise, like beautiful omnibus slipcase collection. And I
I
have a
thought about
lot.
buying that one.
I
It
have
is
a lot of
super
his
fun.
other stuff. But yeah, we're gonna talk about his new issue. His new comic is Parker Girls. I'm gonna talk about him a little bit of that, and we're gonna talk about his new Kickstarter campaign, because it's crazy to me. Um, it's crazy to me that he's using Kickstarter, because he does all his own shit. Like he releases it all from his like YouTube channel and his own like he does everything himself. He like self publishes and does everything himself. So like I'm really excited to talk to him about why he's doing Kickstarter, what's different this time, just what he gets excited about, what he gets excited to draw. I'm so excited to talk to him, and I'm kind of fucking nervous, man. Like so there's a whole lot of shit happened. Like before Cole and I launched the show, like I got really sick. I got like COVID, and I got really sick, and I had to take a break for a while, and I felt better, and I was like, all right, like I'm feeling better. Let's do this. And like everybody sent me like they were just like, oh cool, you're feeling better, like let's do this campaign, let's talk this, let's talk this. And I was like, i I want to help everybody. I really do.
What's
I
going
want
on,
to.
Bruce?
What's up, Bruce? I really want to like try and like like get indie comics out there, whether it's at Kickstarter or through the direct market. And it was just a lot, and it was kind of intense and heavy. And I kind of feel like things are finally starting to like go in my way, and like people that like I've been excited about are wanting to talk to me. And anyways, I'm like I'm just really excited, and things are changing, and the next couple weeks are going to be fucking crazy. But I want everybody to know that like I love times 1,000 these Tuesday night review talks. Like I'm loving, like I really do. Like this is different. This is fun. Um I'm excited about it. It's really cool talking about like comics before they come out, and I want to keep doing this. Like so this is exciting to me. Cole is exciting to me.
And I
So
covered
yeah.
my face, but for Bruce, who showed up late, if you want to put a hashtag BuzzBuzz,
Yeah, I thought your fucking internet just dropped,
yeah,
dude. I was
no.
like, man, I'm like getting all like for real, like
we're
emptying my feels.
we're gonna do a giveaway in loosely a minute. So if you want to throw that in there real quick,
Yeah.
you have a chance to get one of these books. Granted, I think maybe possibly you maybe pre-ordered all of these. So well, maybe not Black Tape. I don't know where you are on those, but
you should pre-order Black Tape though.
Bruce is not a huge horror fan, I don't think, for the most part. So maybe he didn't. And I guess Blood Tree is kind of the least horror. I mean, none of these books technically are like full on horror books, but they all definitely have that.
No,
element.
but they got supernatural aspects to them.
So I think that was at least a few minutes over that. So I'm gonna just run this. Let's see who we got as the winner.
Do it.
I'm not. But the approach is amazing. You're right. The approach is. Oh, Nornrad. Congratulations, Nova Man.
To me, my board.
Yeah. And hit me up. I don't know if we are friends on Instagram or not, but either way, yeah, hit me up. My Instagram should be down below. You can add me there, and just let me know your address, because we'll get one of these, and let me know too which one of these would be your favorite from the discussion that we had today. So that's what Blake's got going on. He's got Terry Moore coming on, so I think that you guys should give him a sub and check that out, because Terry Moore is pretty legendary. I've not too much going on, but on Friday I'll probably release my most anticipated comic, and I've got a guest who's actually currently probably going live right now, so maybe I'll drop a link over there if you guys have not heard of Taylor.
Let's go. I'm I'm ready to party. I'm about to hop into another live stream.
Yeah,
Let's
if you're
get weird.
if you've not heard of Taylor Winder before, he's probably live right now. You can go over to his channel and say, "Hey, Cole sent me, and I heard that you're going to be on Cole's Friday video." So I'm going to drop his link over here.
What'd you
there,
think,
and
bud? What'd you think about doing like number one single issues over trades?
I like it. It's easier. It's a little bit funner. I think that the only hard thing is just knowing, hey, are we going to ruin this book for people? Is it going to bring less
Yeah.
people in? So yeah, I would say too, to everyone here and everyone that's been here, if you watch this, let us know, what were your thoughts? Do you like us talking about these number ones that are going to come out tomorrow, or would you prefer trades? We try not to ruin too much. I know for all three of these, they kind of had a big reveal. I mean, the one we did ruin was definitely in the solicit anyway, but we wanted to like kind of not do that. So
we only partially ruin it. This is a partial ruination.
And it really it's not even it was a reveal, but I also read the solicit, which reveals it too. So
the solicits do a whole bunch of
and it's always weird with a number one, because essentially there shouldn't be anything in a number one that should ruin the comic for the most part, I think. But
true.
But once again,
man,
I've been Cole.
I just want to know, like, I love talking comics with you.
Well,
like,
you,
I just like I just want to let you know, like, regardless of our listeners, regardless of who's still in the chat, regardless of whatever, like, I really like talking comic books with you, Cole.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed this too.
And these Tuesdays, like, I think everybody who follows me on social media knows, like, I'm having some weird day job shit going on, and the best part of my weeks right now are like when on Tuesdays, when I know I'm going to have a few drinks and I'm going to talk comics with Cole, or like have a few drinks and talk a creator interview. I just again want to say thank you to you, because Cole is the one who approached me, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this wasn't like my idea. Like, Cole was talking to me and he was like, do you want to do this? Do you think that might work? And I got really excited about it, and I was like, yes. And we're 3 for 3 now. And I love talking comics with Cole. And I just want to make sure everybody knows that. But also, please follow me on Blake's Buzz. But no, but I like
all the information.
I fucking love you, dude. Like, I really do. Like, when you earlier, when I was telling you like things that were going on, and you were like, when are you going to quit our Tuesday show? Like, no, never. Like, I'm not ever going to quit our, if I would bring a random guest on our Tuesday night show to be like, all right, cool, you got to do this on Tuesday night when we do this, because that's the only time I have. I would do that before I ever left this show, because it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I love you, and I like talking comics with you, and you're like, we're co-hosts now. It happened.
We are. It happened. 3 episodes in. This is our third date. We're gonna figure out if we like.
It's our third date. It's our third date.
After this, we're gonna have if we're making it together or not. So you guys have to let us know in the comments down below.
Vote in the comments.
Is this a relationship that
Cole's already married and has kids? But if you want things to switch up and get weird, you let us know.
I just meant as a show, not anything.
Not in real life.
Sorry,
all right,
sorry, Blake.
Let's go. No, it's fine. It's fine. I
You're fine,
I took it a step too far.
Yeah.
I got too excited.
All right. But once again, I've been Cole. He's been Blake. Thank you guys for stopping by.
Thank you for real. Thank you so much. This has been, I love talking comics with you guys on Tuesday nights. Like, I don't want this to stop. Like, let's keep it going.
Yeah. But it all depends on what you say in the comments now.
Yeah, it all depends. What you guys
just kidding. We'll probably be here next week.
We
so
probably
make sure you stay back.
We're gonna launch a Patreon next week, and it all depends on who subscribes or who doesn't.
But we're also not. So
yeah, but we'll also keep going.
You gonna put your peace sign up too?
Peace sign, baby. I love you all.